Hello guys, it is Z-Raptor coming at you with something a little bit different. Obviously I have someone new here with me. This is Cow10, real name Max. Today we're going to be...
I also go by the OG Crip. Just
saying. God dang it. We're going to be recording a podcast today talking about all the major news from E3. We're not going to be talking about everything, but it is a summation of all the key points and things we thought were worth mentioning, all the cool things we were excited about, and hopefully this is sort of a review for you guys, or if you haven't seen it, it's a good enough, again, like summation of everything, all the major stuff, and you can kind of get our points of views. This is a rare video because I'm just visiting. He lives like 9 hours away, so it is really hard to do these. Future podcasts will come, some of them in person, some like on Skype or something similar. But today, like I said, it's all E3 stuff. We got all the news and points we're going to talk about on his phone. Hopefully, we'll have 2 points of view, one over there, one in front of us, obviously. And I can include both of them. We'll kind of see if something goes wrong, it'll just be one or the other. Hopefully, the one in front will work. But
first thing you wanted to talk about was EA, and biggest thing from EA would be Battlefield 1.
Yeah, that's going to be the World War I Battlefield, and it's really hard to explain what it's like. It's everything like that Battlefield 4 was good about, like the destruction, all that, but even better. Plus, it's going back in time to World War I, something we haven't seen in a while, something a lot of people wanted from Call of Duty, but they weren't able to do. And it's just...
Oh, and I just want to throw this out here. If there aren't any horses in multiplayer, 0 out of 10.
Yep, it goes from a 10 out of 10 to just 0.
Yeah.
I mean, one cool thing they're doing with it is something called Behemoths. The biggest one that you've all probably seen by now is the blimp.
Oh, yeah.
They're also going to have armored train and I think a big battleship, which is really exciting. I didn't watch the full video, but I did look up a gameplay video, and it was 45 minutes long. So if you guys want to check that out, I'll give that person credit. I believe it was Level Cap Gaming. I'll give them credit, put their video in the description if you guys want to check out a nice gameplay video. It was very, very nice, and I'm super hyped, and I'm probably going to pre-order it. The next game, though, is going to be Titanfall 2.
This is a game that I got it when it first came out, and I liked it, but it didn't have longevity. Like, it got boring very quickly. From what I've heard, they have tried to add more life to the game, and hopefully they do that, because I really like the first one.
I never really played a whole lot of Titanfall. It was a game I was trying to wait on, and as I heard more and more, it was more of just, don't buy it, it's not really going to last long, which is unfortunate. But the little bit that I did play was very fun, and something that I thought had potential, if anything. So hopefully they've added enough to Titanfall 2. I know they've added a single-player campaign and a few new Titans, so hopefully that'll breathe enough life into the game to where Titanfall 2 is a smash hit, and everyone seems to be very hyped.
Yeah, I know, just real quick, I know for Titanfall 2, they have changed the feel of the game to where you're less bouncy and you're more weighted as a pilot. I didn't really have a problem being bouncy. I like games where you're flying everywhere, but they also added new mechanics like a grappling hook, which if you grapple an enemy, you get this awesome melee kill.
I'm saying what's up to the other camera. What was the next thing from them? Sorry, we just saw this on my phone. I'm recording with mine, obviously. The last thing from EA is going to be all these Star Wars news that's been rumored and talked about. Battlefront 2 was confirmed. Hopefully they've added enough to that as well, because it was sort of like Titanfall, multiplayer only, and it was just like, it was mixed reviews. I really liked it and the feel of it. Him and I put a few hours into it for sure. But hopefully they've added enough to Battlefront 2 to make it, even better of a buy. But the other Star Wars news is like three other Star Wars games they're apparently working on. They're not going to come out for a few years. But there's going to be a VR one where you're flying around TIE fighters and stuff. One that's doing its own story. And then one that's really we don't know anything about. But hopefully it's just...
Next is Bethesda and all the stuff they're coming out with. But the biggest one is obviously Skyrim Remastered.
For me...
I don't know what that was, but hype.
So excited you didn't know what to do. Skyrim for me was one of those games where I realized I was getting too into it, so I forced myself to stop playing.
I put so many hours into that game, it's ridiculous.
I mean, I have it on PC, so graphics were like, but better mechanics and things like that were a nice plus, and hopefully if it's cheap enough, I'll pick it up. But for anyone who has only consoles, or wants to play it on their console, or, whatever, it's definitely a good thing to pick up. It looks absolutely amazing.
Plus, consoles went out because they can, Bethesda is making it to where console players can have mods. They've been doing this with Fallout 4 and beta testing, and I guess they're doing it to more and more games, and that's just a really cool thing from them. Hopefully more developers follow suit.
Yeah, like if other developers can be like, hey, mod our games on console, well, dang, it's like I'll buy a lot more games for my PS4, a little bit less for my PC.
Next thing is Dishonored 2. I love the first Dishonored game.
Definitely.
Most games I play through once and I'm like, yeah, that was fun, but Dishonored made me want to play through it multiple times to challenge myself and see the different endings and just get crazy kills, honestly.
Yeah, and there's also another character you can play as that has some sort of like telekinetic crap. I don't know how to explain it, but it looks really cool and looks even more better. That's the only way I can phrase it. I know that's improper, but it's even more better.
You English as well's goodlies.
Yes. Next conference we're going to be talking about is Microsoft. They have a couple games like Recore that looked pretty nice. But not having an Xbox, I didn't really take into account the games personally. Plus, for the most part, there was stuff we already seen or just something that was like, eh. But the biggest thing was there like two new consoles. The Xbox One S, which is the really slim, better one, and then the Scorpio. But
oh, are you saying because it's slimmer, it's better?
Wow. They made it white. Racist.
Racist. It's 2016, Microsoft. Come on.
No, but the Xbox One S gets rid of that power brick that I'm sure all you Xbox One owners hate. You've had it forever.
But PS4 had it from the jump. Sorry.
Yeah, no, they've never had a power brick, not even since the PS1.
Let's start a flame war in the comments below.
No, but no, seriously, get rid of that power brick. Made it, I think they said 40% smaller. Oh, it definitely looks sleeker and stuff like that. I don't know how relevant that really is because then later on in the conference they announced the Scorpio, which is their console that's going to play 4K games and content, and they're touting it to be the most powerful, what will be the most powerful console. We'll see, because PS4K we don't know a lot about. But it's sort of like, okay, you either have an Xbox One and the Slim probably doesn't interest you. Some people might just for space concerns and stuff. Or you don't have one and possibly are looking to get one. Well, for one, the normal Xbox One will go down in price once this comes out. Or two, you can just wait about another year and have the better console. So that's, it'll still be relevant for people who can't get the Xbox, like the Scorpio one, but...
Yeah. With the Scorpio, I like it because getting companies like Sony and Microsoft into, excuse the terminology, pissing contests with each other is great for the consumer.
Yeah, hopefully we don't really know much about the PS4K. It's confirmed it's gonna play 4K games and such, but if Microsoft and really just doesn't pull any punches or anything and really makes the Scorpio a really great console, then hopefully Sony can realize that and hopefully make theirs just as good or whatever. And who knows? I mean, I've been a Sony fan all my life, only really owned PlayStations, but if they really do make it a great console, I mean, I'll get it. I don't really care. But we'll see. Anyways.
Next up is Ubisoft, however you pronounce it, and Watch Dogs 2, which is, it's a title that I'm not excited for. I followed the hype train for Watch Dogs 1, pre-ordered it, got burned.
Yeah, well, I pre-ordered it. I was the one who got more burned. I pre-ordered it for us. We game shared on PS4.
Wait, this was before we game shared, because we got some.
Oh, you got it too for Christmas. You got like the disc, didn't you?
Yeah.
And I bought it digital. So we both got burned. I mean, it really definitely could have been a good game. It's weird because normally I hate quick time events, but if they made like the hacking more quick timing, like different buttons and things like that, and then the physics weren't actually broken and just better cars and storyline, I don't know. And then the ending didn't even make sense at all. Maybe I accidentally skipped a mission, but
I feel like it's a game to where they had a good concept, but they didn't channel any love into it.
Yeah, I mean, Watch Dogs 2 could be a good game. I don't really know, to be honest. But it's something I'll kind of keep in the back of my head, maybe keep my eye on, and if it ends up being a good game, I might pick it up. But I have no intentions to pre-order it, get it, anything like that.
Next up is, again from Ubisoft, is the new South Park game, South Park The Fractured Butthole.
The puns there. Definitely looks like a good game. I encourage you guys. I'm gonna get closer to the camera to show you guys how serious I am. Listen, even if you don't watch South Park, aren't a South Park fan, because I'm not. I don't watch South Park at all. I'm not a South Park fan. Get it. I played the Stick of Truth. Worth it. Was so fun. Definitely a good game, and it was something new and just fresh, and it was just unlike any other game I've played before. I wouldn't say it was 10 out of 10 best game I've ever played, but if you're just looking for something different, fun, casual game that makes you laugh, things like that, yet still is really fun, Stick of Truth was very good. You can still pick that up very cheap, but this new one...
Actually, if you get the Fractured Butthole, you get the Stick of Truth for free, according to their advertisement. By the way, this isn't sponsored by Ubisoft, just throwing that out there.
Yeah, okay, well, in that case, maybe get the new one. Even if it's not good, you'll get the free Stick of Truth, and Stick of Truth, I would personally recommend as just a fresh game. Definitely a mature rated game. I wouldn't let,
give it to your 5-year-old for Christmas.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't let your little kids play it or anything, but, I mean, as long as you're fine with that.
There is a mission in the game where you have to destroy an undead fetus.
Yeah, it is kind of...
alert.
It is kind of, dark. I mean, you do really have to have a wide sense of humor, but even if you're not a South Park fan, definitely look into it, see if it's something you'd like.
The one thing that the creators of South Park have mastered is the art of satire, and with the Stick of Truth, it was all about Game of Thrones and making fun of that, and this, it's going to be making fun of superhero movies and superhero franchises, which I just think is awesome.
The other thing from Ubisoft that I'm excited for is their game For Honor. It's a third-person sword fighting game. Hopefully it has enough RPG elements to where it's fun to get upgrades, but it's not too much to where it's overwhelming and stuff like that. But it is a game I'm going to keep my eye on and definitely think about getting. But I wouldn't say it's my highest rated game or even in my top 5. It's just something like a new cool game that I might just pick up and put a few hours into here and
there. I've heard a lot of good things about it, and it's definitely an interesting concept, if nothing else.
Next, we're going to move on to Sony, which I pulled out a lot of info from because anyone like me who has played on a PlayStation for the last couple generations or whatever, or just even maybe skipped PS3 and did PS2, maybe Xbox, or didn't play anything, came back on PS4. The most exciting thing for me was God of War. I saw that and I nearly pooped a brick because I was like, oh Lord. I remember back a few years ago having a PSP, playing on that, playing it on PS2. It's just a really, really fun game, and hopefully they do enough with it. I am going to miss his old weapons, gonna have to get used to the axe and stuff now, but now that they're going more towards the Norse mythology, it should be really fun. Now that you have a son, you'll see more of Kratos, and hopefully we'll get more of a depth of character, which is something we didn't really see in the last ones. But it's a game I'm so hyped for. So hyped.
I never really got into the God of War series, not because I didn't like it, just because I never had like the opportunity to play it. It always looked interesting.
I mean, for me, it was a game I played mostly on PSP just because I'd be sitting just bored, and it was just a fun, quick game to be able to pull out and just have some fun.
Well, why are you just pulling it out in
random
places?
Why? Public places, too. No, but, and it was just a really fun game to play on the side casually and just, have fun with, but hopefully the console release will be really, really great. I haven't played God of War on console before, and it was still really fun. So hopefully it is great. The next point of news is Resident Evil 7. Not something I'm going to talk much about. I played Resident Evil 5, 6, and 4, a little bit of each of those, mostly 5. But for those of you who are Resident Evil fans, it definitely does look like a good game. And I don't really like horror games, so I'm going to pick it up, and hopefully that'll result in some funny videos.
I don't like horror games, so I'm going to pick it up.
Well, hopefully it'll result in some funny videos. I was going to do some Outlast videos or something like that soon. I'm not sure, or Amnesia, something like that, and literally poop my pants and scream like a little girl. PSVR.
Sorry. PSVR. What?
PSVR.
PSVR.
Dude,
yeah.
just I can't say anything else.
That's just PSVR. Next topic.
No, obviously, HTC Vive and the Oculus Rift are something way better, but you do have to have a really powerful gaming PC, which I have. Well, minus processor, I have to get.
Oh, way to brag!
I have to get a better processor, but it is obviously those are way better. But for someone who wants something a little bit more casual and can just pick up, and if you already have a PS4, definitely great. Obviously, by now you've probably heard enough. If you're interested, if not, I encourage you to look into it. But the point of news that we didn't have before that I want to talk about is that it's going to be released on October 13th. Hopefully, I will pick one up and play it, demo it, and you guys will see some videos resulting from that. But that was really the point of news, was just as October 13th. But if you haven't looked into it yet, I encourage you to. We're not going to talk a lot about it right now, just because that news has been out there. But hopefully October 13th. I'm going to set in a pre-order as soon as I can.
Next up is Death Stranding, which is the new game from Hideo Kojima, whose name I can't pronounce.
Yeah.
After his fallout with Konami.
Yeah, with Konami.
Everybody was wondering, where he's going, what he's doing, and I guess this is his answer. I haven't seen much on it, but
it was a really weird trailer. We saw Norman Reedus naked, handling a baby.
I bet
he was holding a baby. Well, we had PT, which is really weird and interesting. Definitely a Kojima game or whatever. And we had Norman Reedus at the very end, and we were just wondering, okay, well, what is it? But then he had his fallout. They're not continuing with that Silent Hill game or whatever. So this is where he is, and he's like, screw you guys. I'm taking my game ideas and Norman Reedus with me. So hopefully it'll be a cool game for you Kojima fans out there. Something I may or may not.
He makes great games like Metal Gear Solid, the Silent Hills. Thank you. He's a wonderful game developer. In my opinion.
One of the last couple points is SpiderMan. It's going to be coming from Insomniac Games. The trailer looked good. Okay, I'm going to point this out now. The whole big ass white spider on the suit thing, get rid of it, change the suit, and the rest looks good.
You know, obviously it can't be the movie tie-in since those movies are dead, but if they bring back the web swinging mechanics from Spider-Man 2 on the GameCube, I will be a happy camper.
It was also on the PlayStation 2. That's what I played it on. That game was, oh my god. I get nostalgic just thinking about it, but like, that game, you could hide in like dark corners and like no one would see you. You'd have your spidey sense.
Plus the secret hideouts that you could randomly run across. Like there'd be enemy hideouts and then you could go into them and take them over. I would always just chill in there, be like, yeah, I'm Spider-Man, and cracked in.
I just don't like the suit. I'm gonna complain about that for days, but I'm still gonna play it. I don't give a shit. I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna enjoy it. And hopefully it's just like the PS2, GameCube era games.
And finally, the PS4K, which we talked a little bit about this when we talked about the Scorpio.
Something, it was rumored. The specs about it were rumored. I'm going to pretend like none of that is true just because, again, it's a rumor. But the actual PS4K itself is confirmed. It's supposedly going to play or like 4K games and content similar to the Scorpio. Here's where I'm nervous. The Scorpio set is going to be the most powerful console ever, and with like I think it was like 6 times more computing power. It's like 5 or 6 teraflops or whatever. 5 or 6 times more computing power on the Xbox than the Xbox One. The Scorpio is definitely going to be a powerful console. But I'm kind of worried, yet I'm kind of not, because Scorpio is supposed to be really, really great, but we don't know anything about PS4K.
In all fairness, some of the computing power of the Xbox One was dedicated to the Kinect that they forced upon everybody.
True, and then they unlocked that core that allowed for like slightly better performance. I don't know. We'll kind of see where the PS4K goes. Again, we don't know anything confirmed. And not a whole lot about the Scorpio either, but hopefully they're pretty damn equal. And in the end, I might choose out. In the end, I might just pick up the PS4K since I'll have the PSVR and stuff like that. But we'll kind of see. I might pick up both if I have just extra cash laying around. Just
alright,
my money.
Alright. This is just miscellaneous stuff.
Just a couple of things we saw thought were kind of cool. Super Hot VR. Have you seen anything on Super Hot at all? You know
yeah. That's a game that I saw. I'm like, that's a cool concept, but I don't think it has longevity.
It doesn't have longevity per se, but it was something that I thought was really interesting. I was like,
I love the concept.
The concept was great, but in my head I was like, there's just something missing. I know the longevity's not there. That's not what I'm concerned about. But once it was on VR, I was like,
that was an excellent move. Like, because if you don't know, Super Hot, the basic mechanic of the game is time moves whenever you move, and part of you moving is you like looking around. So adding VR it feels like it should have been there, or it feels just like it should be there.
Yeah, like that was the piece that bridged the gap between me contemplating buying and me buying it. Like if I get a VR headset for my PC, I'm for sure gonna pick it up. If it comes to console, for sure gonna pick it up. So I was just really excited to see that.
Alright, and then the new AMD cards are coming out.
They didn't really release new cards as far as I knew. I didn't go to E3, so I'm not sure. I didn't see any news. They just kind of talked about them. So that's good that they're kind of getting the word out there. Hopefully their cards will be really good. I know the 1070 and the 1080 from NVIDIA are out, but hopefully AMD can put up a powerful showing because I do like some of their stuff over NVIDIA.
I don't know what this is. You're going to fill me in?
Okay, Alienware. Well-known computer company. I'm sure you guys all know them. They make very expensive gaming computer systems, especially for the price. Not gonna rag on them too much. That's just my opinions. If you buy from Alienware, have Alienware, that's cool. But what I did see that was really cool concept was they had a PC backpack. It looked pretty sleek. Hopefully it's pretty powerful. But it was just something that I saw. I was like, that's cool. Like, yeah. I don't think it's not practical in any way, shape, or form. Why would you need a backpack PC? Like, there's just no point.
Unless you had a cool backpack TV, in which case it would just be a walking gaming system.
Yeah, true. I mean, there's honestly, like, there's really no point. It's just one of those things. Like, that's cool.
Just a cool concept.
But that was kind of our summation on E3, all the cool things we thought cropped up in the news articles and everything. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you maybe thought we missed a couple points that you're hoping we talked about, put that in the comments below. Maybe we'll make like another video on the things we missed. But if you guys like the video, be sure to subscribe and like. And if you want to see more of this kid, yeah, dislike.
Just go to your local crack house. You'll probably find me in the corner.
No, and if you want to see more of this kid, again, put that in the comments. Show your support, like, and subscribe. He'll be sure to be in a few more videos because he's my best friend.
I am? Since when?
I was kidding. Anyways, guys, hope you enjoyed the podcast. This has been Z-Raptor, and as always, it's on to another one.